Ed, does anybody have decent self-driving anymore? Because I drove a rental car the other day and it had obviously like lane management and the adaptive cruise control, and I just let it drive me for all the way up 285, making all the turns, and I had my hands like a millimeter from grabbing. I'm like this watching it, and I'm like,
just squeeze it
driving me to town.
Yeah,
it did everything.
It's been fast, and it's not all. I mean, Tesla is certainly the furthest along because they didn't mind the legal hurdles that they just ignored to, implement. And they have more miles of it being deployed with, better cameras and things like that. But I don't love the Mercedes one. Cadillac's is very, very good, but most of the cars that I have aren't remotely new enough to even have CarPlay, much less, functional Bluetooth and self-driving. But it is certainly, taking the world by storm. And look, it's going to be not too terribly long before it's, the most prevalent feature. And so the idea of actually operating your own car is not interesting anymore.
When is the internet going to start hacking regular cars like mine? Right, I have an F-150 with cameras all over. And just add some improved lane centering and such.
That's a good question because, there was a startup called Comma AI that would kind of take a car, and it worked best for some reason on Priuses where it would drive for you. It was a self-driving add-on. And as long as you've got brake by wire, throttle by wire, steering by wire, all these things that are they have an electronic layer, it is feasible to do that. And so, it also relied on a front and rear dash cam. So that was sort of the only bolt on that was sort of required, which could work on a phone. And it worked well. There was a guy who set kind of a semi-autonomous cannonball record using it because he didn't have a budget for a real self-driving car, but he had that. And so that's happening. But it's, I don't know. I think a proper retrofit is going to be a challenge. And that's where you're going to start to see bad outcomes, right? Because you're going to have slightly compromised technology and sensors and all that.
Yeah, probably.
How close is like Tesla's top level of it to just being able to put in, like, take me to Chick-fil-A, and then
100% there has been for 3 or 5 years there. It's done.
Oh, so self-driving is like already a thing for that.
Yeah,
it boggles my mind whenever I'm in LA and I see what are they called? Waymos? Waymos
are everywhere. Yeah.
It is out of Black Mirror, just looking to the side and seeing no one driving. And it's got this like weird cone on the top. I think it's like their camera system or whatever, but it is fucking freaky. And I've never seen a Waymo do anything that doesn't feel human in terms of on the road. Because to me, self-driving cars, what scare me is how they're going to operate to me making a mistake. Like, how are they going to react if I maybe don't turn a lane or change a lane in like the most pristine ways? Like, are they going to bob and weave and avoid me, or are they just going to let me hit them? I don't know.
So all I know about is the lane management systems and the adaptive cruise control. I was in a Hyundai driving, and I'm like I said, I've got my hands right around the wheel, but I'm not touching it. And it's been driving me for 10 or 15 minutes going through curves and stuff. And I look to my right, and there's an Aston Martin, I think it was a Vantage. I don't think it was a Vanquish, coming by me. And I'm checking it out because it's a fucking cool car. And I noticed that guy is on his phone with both hands. His car is... He is also not driving.
But he doesn't have technology to do it for him. That's the knee doing it, I think. That's the Aston Martin driver. Well, the Waymos are really impressive. And I actually think that they've put more cameras visible than are needed because they're deploying driverless taxis. However, apparently, they are not good at sensing flooded roads because we had a big storm in Atlanta a few weeks ago. And they all drove into the water, and with people knowing they can see it, but the car can't see it, and it's just barreling into them. You'll also see these clips of like them turning the wrong way down a one-way road and getting trapped with each other, and they don't problem solve against each other very well. So if they're the problem, it's an issue because they just get checkmated into.
Did you see the one that drove the person into the middle of a police standoff?
Oh, that's wonderful.
There's there's a police standoff where the bad guys said, I don't know if they've wrecked their car, but their car has been stopped and they're in there refusing commands, and the police all have guns drawn, lots of cops around. Show us your hands! And here comes a Waymo at 7 miles an hour, just right in the middle of it all. And you know, the person inside is just like, no, please. No. There's no getting out.
I have not ridden in one yet. I think you can now book them through the Uber app, but surely there's a just shut down mode, like park immediately button. I don't know.
Well, you wouldn't want that, would you?
You wouldn't
want. I don't even know if you'd want to give the average person the ability for $15 to get in your car and start pressing shutdown. There'll be some anti-AI, anti-self-driving loon going around shutting them all down or something.
Yeah, probably like Reddit memes, or like Elon. Really, like the Reddit meme is like the same way Elon spoke until a couple of years ago, and even still now, where it's like all like Chungus memes, like ludicrous mode in the car. If I bought a plaid, I'd be like, I want it without any of Elon's jokes in here. I don't want a single gay, stupid reference.
You already lost
some Reddit post he saw.
Yeah, plaid itself is a joke. Yeah,
the plaid.
Yeah, and Spaceballs, I think plaid is the fastest speed they have.
Yeah, he's leaning on Spaceballs a lot.
Sure, the rocket system is pointy because of the movie The Dictator. Like that's what we're dealing with when it comes to Elon Musk. It has, as he said, no performance changes to make the rocket pointy, but it's
they asked him that. They're like, so you made it. He's like, I thought it should be pointy. And they're like, so is it more aerodynamic? Is it better with fuel? He's like, it's arguably worse.
What if this is just like a thing that we only know about now from like these weird geniuses? Like, what if Newton, like whenever like Newton's wife and his wife's neighbor are friends, and they have to go over there, and that guy's like, oh my God, this guy, I can't stand this guy. Newton's the worst. He just wants to talk about gravity and boring nonsense. We get it. Things fall. What about sports? You know, anything about sports? You know, anything about casual conversation? Like, what if all of those guys were insufferable weirdos? They may like. Do you think Einstein was like fun to hang out with? The guy was probably fucking weird.
Einstein. Okay, so Einstein was super fun to hang out with. He was always banging hoes. There's lots of pictures of him with like young, proton nerd girls.
Didn't he marry his cousin?
I don't know about his cousin, but he was fucking around a lot too. Newton, on the other hand, was a fruitcake. He was celibate. He had some sort of celibacy vow and never married. So Einstein, though, cool guy.
I don't know. Seems like he probably would. His shtick would get a little old, right? Where he'd be talking about science and stuff, and you just want to chat. Like,
You just want to talk. You just want to shoot the shit. Talk about hot dogs.
Right. The World Cup's on, Albert. We got more things to worry about.
Get a haircut.
Honestly, I've been impressed by certain like super winners who have that kind of thought process. I've got two in my head. One is Elon Musk. You know, dude, anyone else who's like, you know, what if we put like thousands of satellites in the sky and gave the whole planet internet access would be like, yeah, but that's freaking impossible. We can't do that. What if the cars drove themselves? What if we turned the whole ICE thing on its internal combustion motor engine thing on its head and made, electric cars instead? Any normal person would say, no, this is too big a thought to tackle. I was watching Mr. Beast talk on the Joe Rogan Experience recently. And I'm like sort of scanning through, and he either did a video or he's doing a video about spending some extended amount of time sleeping in the Egyptian pyramids. And he's talking to his staff about it. And they're like, well, obviously that's impossible. You can't treat the pyramids like a hotel. And he's like, why not? And they're like, well, Egypt wasn't let you. He's like, did Egypt tell you that? Why don't you call Egypt on the phone, see if we can get approval for this? And it took a year.
Hey, Egypt!
Right? Yeah. It took a year of going back and forth with Egypt for them to understand that this would be done in like a respectful, history honoring tone and say yes. And now Mr. Beast has slept in the pyramids. And I think he was on our show one time when he was like, we never stop at the first no. Anytime someone tells us no, we just accept that that's a speed bump on the way to success.
Kobe rule.
The Kobe rule, sure. It's a rape reference if people didn't get it. But I just kind of admire guys who like, oh, anything's possible. I can't imagine a future in which I don't thrive on this idea of mine. Whereas I'm often like, there's a reason in business I tend to hit a lot of singles and not a lot of home runs. And it's because the less sure thing is a less appealing option to me.